to go in or get out at the appropriate times. And this might cause a little bit of problems because at the end of the day, the strength of a Liempo and a Charlotte is to buy you space, both of which Mai and Long users love.
Yeah, you're going to need that. And just being able to potentially get onto the back line as well. I mean, I don't know how you're going to get on the channel otherwise. I mean, the Mai's got to get some work in from Jurl. He's got to make some action happen. But this is a pretty decent draft by Dominator Esports.
Actually, for both teams, right? I think the win condition coming in from Zhang on the Allgren is also something very good. Like we said, he has that instant, less than 10% health bar insta-kill. So if Zhang, his teammates are able to assist him by lowering the damage, it's going to be great.
If we're talking about one-on-one jungle, TNX versus Zhang, like in a vacuum. Let's not talk about heroes or the
TNX wins, hands down.
Hands down.
Like we're talking about a hero choice, right? Or are you talking about the player themselves?
Player.
All right, boys. Tensions are rising. I can feel it, and the stakes are climbing. Boys, let's take it from here. Show us how it plays out.
Okay, so game number 1 between Dominator Esports as well as Team Vitality. The junglers, like we compared them at the earlier parts of the day, going to dictate the pace of this game.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of importance on that role. I mean, look, you don't win or lose instantly based on the jungler, but there's a lot of influence, especially from the early game when you're able to farm and you're able to kind of, set the pace by getting some potential kills in those outer lanes.
Yes, and AL doing a very good job to assist Jill here. They have entrance into the Crimson Golem. So DMT, this is stock standard in terms of aggression, and there's no defense coming in.
Yeah, no defense, because, I mean, Zhang is all the way in the south side. He's all the way by himself, but Dominator Esports picking up the Crimson literally for free.
Yeah, this is not ideal. And this is also due to the fact that I think they did no lane swaps here.
Yeah, no lane swaps. But look, Team Vitality here, I think they understood that how Zonk was going to rotate. They've done a lot of research. These two teams are so familiar with one another. They know how Zonk wants to go for that blue buff early and then go to the south side.
Yeah, but for now, Vitality not in a great position. No Crimson buff to deal with for Zhang, and this is going to open up aggression from the side of DMT.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the top lane. Charlotte versus Mayin. Who are you giving the edge to?
At the start of the game, I would think Charlotte does a little bit better, but as the level continues to rise, then Mayin will be able to kind of burst out the Charlotte. This is really a timing-based matchup. Who lands their skills more often.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I really like the Mayin, especially later on. Getting to that back line, I mean, Jurl and Ahem, this is a perfect hero to do so. You have a lot of mobility and to be able to kind of control. All you need is that bit of control for the rest of the team to kind of secondary initiate.
Yeah, but this clash lane matchup is really trying to catch smoke because if you time it right, you can kind of instantly avoid a lot of different things.
Okay, all right, okay. Now, if we're going back to this one, Zhang, again, trying to get all that farm, taking as much as possible, but most of it has been stolen away from him. Dominator doing a good job. And this is why whenever you see an Ogren on the team, you want to be aggressive, you got to take away stuff.
Yes, and it stifles the growth. Zhang now at level 4, he's already 1 level behind TNX.
Yeah, I mean, still very early. It's 2 minutes, 30 seconds in, but it's got to be like a feels bad man. Like, oh man, they're like really honing in on me, trying to take away my farm, making things a little bit difficult for me.
Which kind of piques my curiosity, right? So on Team Vitality now, if you're in the position of Zhang, what do? Where is this recovery going to come from?
Well, I mean, hang on.
They actually maybe get the kill. Zhang uses his ultimate. Will not survive this. The stun comes and first blood goes to Jurl.
Well, dying is not going to help. Okay, let me help with that one. But look, I think that it's more of like Team Vitality funneling that farm in. Maybe you give up your lane creeps in the mid lane as much as possible. You got to get him going. Him dying early and giving up first blood, absolutely huge for Dominator Esports.
Yes, and it's given to Joe, right? So he's going to have a big burst of power spike or damage as well. And Zan here, I think with the commitment of the Audi, he did manage to force out the Dragon form. So it's not ideal for Vitality. They have no openings.
Yeah, but all for alt, right? I think that they'll be both happy with that. Nobody died. As long as you're staying alive and you're sticking in the lane and you're continuing to farm, I don't think it's the end of the world for both of these guys. Again, Ahem and Zan, these guys will be going at it. But look at how 19 has been rotating around, again, trying to provide that space for Zhang.
He needs to give information to the team because right now, Joe has been completely not stopped. He has been stealing camps. He's taken... Look, he has the Crimson buff on him.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is why the Mai is kind of on point. like once it gets going and it's able to kind of move around, it's going to be super annoying to deal with.
Yes, a lot of people are asking, right, over the course of the few days of KWC, why is Mai picked up? Because when she has a lead, she is so hard to play against.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, look, in the late game, she's kind of underwhelming because she's just so squishy.
Yeah, but they get that ultimate down. The beast is unleashed, but it's TNX who secures the Tyrant. But it's looking like a bad fight for the side of DMT. They will back off. Nobody really dies. Maybe just Guyi at this point, but 1-to-1. There is a bit of life in the side of Vitality.
Yeah, Guyu going down. I mean, he's trading his life away for that Tyrant. Not the worst thing in the world. I think that the Dominator Esports will be happy with that, considering like the Clash Lanes net worth are tied. So again, it's all about really TNX kind of getting going. Once he hits those items, that power spike, then they're able to slow siege together.
I'm kind of curious about L in this way, right? Because like you said, this advantage that DMT have acquired for themselves, if L is able to force them into bad positions, Joe is going to have a great time. Jen is going to be able to land his furball as well. And everything sets up a Ham and Guyu to get the final kills.
And you bring up a good point, because whenever you see the Lian Po, I don't like him as the initial initiator. I like him as the secondary one. Like, let them group up, and TNX is like the perfect guy to do that with this Agudo.
And I think Agudo might be the best pick coming in from the experience of watching TNX over the past few months.
Yeah, just rein him in, man. Let him stick together. It's one of those things where, because he's like kind of lacking in the mobility department, or compared to some of the other junglers, you're like, he's forced to play like a team game.
That's kind of funny, because yes, TNX is a team player, guys. It's just that he's sometimes he gets ahead of himself.
Yeah, he just gets a little overly aggressive at times, thinks he's strong, and gets a little out of position. He's trying to make a play, right? And I don't like, you know, I don't want to speak negatively of him, because you need that confidence to really just go in as the jungler.
Yeah, Unbridled Arbor is going to land that first stun. They're trying to get the burst in, but it's not enough just yet. TNX falling very low, will give his life, but Ahem gets onto Tufts as well. It's not looking like a decent fight for the side of Dominator. Losing their jungler, but dear Joe, he comes in, gets a knock-up as well. Has to follow up, but there's no more damage coming in from the side of DMT. Vitality, they're performing a lot better.
Yeah, they're going a lot better, but they went all in on the TNX machine. They tried to ensure that they got that kill. Tufts trades his life away. I think that they'll be fine with that, because again, you got to get Zankyu going a little bit and hopefully catching up, because he's still a little bit behind.
Yep, DMT actually recovering quite well, pushing away Zankyu, and Ahem secures that Crimson buff for himself.
Yeah, Dominator Esports up about 2K, so they're in the lead. I mean, yeah, TNX was down, but now they're on the chase here.
Yep, they won slightly with that fight, but Zankyu's still behind.
Yeah, still behind, but Gerald making him pay a little bit.
He forces out the out, gets a knock up with the Neil. Here comes TNX as well. Furball will not hit the mark, but the damage comes in. TNX gets Neil. 19 falling low as well. Ahem fed with the meat of this guy as two members are falling down. Zen as the run for his life. They're chasing in. Ahem, a double kill as DMT hit the stride.
And Ahem, this is why he's so good on that Loong, just being able to flash forward. And Churi gets that kill with that Flaming Palm. He could have gone out on his dragon, but he decides to walk it off. But Dominator, just a great play, catching them out. The L Tremor Smash was on point. What a great initiation by him.
Yeah, that's the strength of the DMPO, right? And right now, look at the amount of aggression that DMT are putting. This is the DMT that we wanted to see since day one.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to see it, but, you know, they brought a little drama into the league, right? By kind of a little bit of a stumble. I mean, let's check out this replay here. Look, Neil was getting gone on, no real chance, but look at that burst ram, 3-man stun, and L setting it up for everyone else. Zankyu has to run away. They find Zan, who gets over the wall, because Ahem, not scared, flashes forward, gets the kill.
The big thing is they actually isolated Zan, right? And they cut off that escape route for him, and forcing Zankyu to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I mean, once they were, like, Neil was down, it was pretty much, we got to retreat. We just got to stay alive. And, you know, you got to kind of go your separate way, so to speak, and just try to stay alive. Vitality got paid. They paid for their sins.
And what's more painful and most painful about what's happening now is the fact that they have taken 3 different turrets on the side of DMT. So Vitality, they don't really have a lot of space to work with.
Not a lot of space, down about 4K, and it's making it even more uncomfortable as Dominator Esports looking to just invade, but Guyu getting low.
Yep, he's one-on-one, but the support is coming in. It is not a fair fight. Guyu takes that fall, and for now, DMT, they are lessened in power.
Yeah, Guyu just kind of, I mean, he was outnumbered to begin with, and then there were more members of Team Vitality showing up. It was like, oh, you are on the wrong side of the neighborhood, my friend.
Exactly, but that's what a Clash laner is supposed to do, right? It's supposed to be aggressive, push them away. Unfortunately, it did not work out this time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Clash laners are supposed to do, and they were supposed to die, no?
Not like that. I mean, yes, a lot of times my Clash laners do that, but hey, we learned today.
Yeah, we definitely do. And Zank,
yeah, big knockup. ZhangQ gets that ultimate, but once again, they turn around. Maybe they want to go for more. TNX did drop the furball. He does have access to a little bit of mini stuns and lightning charges on his basic attacks, but for now, they just want to push them away. No need to go over aggressive.
Yeah, just stay calm. You know, I don't think Team Vitality are completely out of this. Yes, this like 4K net worth lead is a bit daunting, but Team Vitality still have options. They have their T2 still standing at this point, and that could lead to potentially more, but again, they need to figure out a way to kind of get ZhangQ his farm because he's about 500 gold behind TNX.
Okay, not the biggest difference. In fact, the biggest difference comes to me in terms of gold. It's the farm and the roam, right? And this is a concern for Vitality, but it's not something that will cost them the game just yet.
Yeah, Shadow Tyrant is going to be like spawning at this point, but again, Team Vitality, you cannot give this up. I think that you have to contest. You need to make things a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's why ZhangQ are hiding in the corner, and with the Radiance, AL surprises him and reviews his positioning. They might want to go for the reset here.
Yeah, it looks like they're backing off. They want him to reset, but it looks like they're going for the flank themselves.
Yeah, he of course spots them out. It is going to be a small but Mexican standoff at this point.
Yeah, the mid T2 is under siege. Tyrant, they're going to start this one back off. Team Vitality, though, yes, they're just trying to protect their own jungle at this point, but man, it's all about this Tyrant here.
Yeah, ZhangQ taking a lot of damage in the front lines here. They're looking for an opening, but they're pushing them away. Joe right now just making sure that he stays his dominance in the jungle of Vitality.
Yeah, ZhangQ was just too low. There was no reason. I mean, there's no way that they could have contested at that point. They were trying to go in, potentially going in with that vision but provided by Tufts. He gets a little bit of a knock-up and realizes that, hey, we don't have the time or the life to really do this.
Yeah, and they're looking for an opening again. If Joe gets this is going to suck. Oh, no!
Churl, the sniping, and they have both of the red buffs. Ahem just lost it right now, but that was actually huge, slowing down ZhangQ even more.
Yeah, you were asking about the Charlotte pick. Why is it ideal in this matchup? Look, you're able to poke from distance, and there's nothing that Vitality can do. They have the goal lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's super annoying to deal with, that tri-slash and the potential jump in, but look, AL providing vision himself.
Yeah, this is a pressurizing situation for the side of Team Vitality. This could be very well a T3 for the side of DMT here if they play their cards right. But for now, Vitality hang on.
Hanging on right now, but like, look, with this wild growth, they're going.
They get the stun. Ahem is far away. ZhangQ in the middle of two members, but there's not enough damage. No support. Neil falls low, and Vitality, they had the idea, but the execution did not match it.
All right, that 19 Umbrella Outburst was like literally my Umbrella Outburst, where I like pushed them away and in a bad spot where my team can't catch them. And unfortunately for Team Vitality, yes, ults were expended, and you do survive, but again, you didn't get anything out of this.
I think, okay, look, the biggest thing that they got out of it was that the pressure on the T3s were relieved for the moment. So that's a decent win for the side of Vitality.
I mean, they'll take it. They need to stay alive. They need to stay alive.
Yeah, a potential kill as Tufts is taken out by Joe. This is why the Mai is picked the level advantage, the item advantage, level 14 for Joe, and he makes it work.
Yeah, Tufts, what did I just say? You need to stay alive. Come on, dying like that, especially a solo, Joe outclassing him.
Yeah, and now it is a T3 under pressure on the top side. We're going to be working hard on that. Gets the turret for the team. DMT looking a little bit more dominant in game number one. The second turret in the middle taken down as well, as Gui is just throwing blades at them.
Yeah, look, a single kill, and they just turned it into 3 T3s. Absolutely amazing for Dominator Esports. They're looking to close this game out soon.
Yep, death by 1,000 cuts. They need something, and they need a miracle. Vitality, something needs to happen. It needs to happen right now. ZhangQ, he goes in, gets a blood rage down as well. But on the back lines, they're falling low. The flash committed by continue as well. There is not enough control on the side of Vitality as they try to make their stand, but it will not work because DMT have shown up. Game number 1 goes to DMT.
Clean. That was the Dominator Esports, to be honest. If we're talking about day 1, this is the Dominator Esports that we expected. Just being able to kind of impose their will on Team Vitality. They forced them to play their game. And Dominator Esports, it's a suffocating one. It's a tough lineup to crack.
Yes, it is. I mean, cold, calculated, and I mean the fact that Jill on this Mai showing you what we expected as well of Mais that have come into KWC.
Yeah, just really showing up. I think that was a great game by Gerald. He had such an impact. I mean, if we're going into this one, I mean, look, from the beginning, they got first blood. They were able to kind of take the Tyrant here. They just, again, once that Tyrant happened and they trade away Guyu his life, this is a huge opening because you know that Dominator Esports have that lead.
Exactly, and with a big lead like that, it's not like a tremendous lead, 2,000, but the lead game came into the hands of Gerald, and as a Mai, with that level and item advantage, you're able to kill off people so fast.
Yes, so quickly. And look, it's just like Team Vitality seemed a bit scattered at this point, right? Neil, once he got caught out, he was in no man's land. They paid, and they got many more kills, 2 other kills because of Neil's his bad positioning.
Okay, so a pattern has emerged for Team Vitality at KWC, which is every single time Gen.G goes for a tank jungle, they lose.
It's actually a thing. It really is a thing. But look, Oghren is the tried and true. You have to have Oghren. You have to be able to play Oghren as a team, right? But I do agree with you. I do think that his style is more of an assassin style, and they need to kind of go back to like the Fade.
No, but on DMT's end, doesn't that, you know, play straight into their cards? You have seen his Fade performance the other day. There is no way DMT is letting you get that pick.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to just, like, look, it comes back to the draft, right? I do think that this is a very balanced one. I think it's an interesting, you have to have an Oghren lineup, right? And so that's why they brought it out. Unfortunately for them, Dominator Esports, just too many answers.
May I just ask a question over there? Is it really necessary that they need to have that Oghren lineup, even though they know that their jungler right now is not actually just giving the performances that he needs to have in that hero?
I would think that you do, especially at the KWC, because if you don't pick it, the enemy team will pick it, right? Yeah. So it's either one or the other. I think that you have to be able to just, like, it's a top meta pick. So either you're banning it, which kind of is in a bad spot, you don't want to do it, so you pick it up yourself to play it.
I would very much rather they pick up the jungle as maybe the last pick. Give as much space for the side of Gen.G, right? But take a look at the stats. This is exactly what you want out of DMT's lineup. Look, the fact that okay, I think he took a little bit too much damage, 57.6% K, but 25% of the total team's damage. It really assisted the team, especially for players like TNX and Joe, who were able to deal more than, in total, right, 130,000 worth of hero damage.
Just a ton of damage. I mean, look, Guyu was on top. Like, he was just, his poking and prodding, he was constantly tenderizing Team Vitality, where it was very difficult for them to make any sort of assault because they were, again, pushed back and on the defensive, not where you want to be, especially when you have an Oghren.
And with Gen.G in 19, yes, they were the tanks. They were taking the most damage in the game. But what was present in this situation was that Gen.G in 19 were never in fighting form before the actual fight started.
Yeah, and look, Gen.G right here, 33% in terms of team fight, was not really there for the kills because he was trying to find his own farm, but it was pushed back. They were losing from the beginning, and so it's like a feels bad man because you're like, you have no space to farm.
They lost the T2s in the mid and the bottom very early in the game. And once that map becomes so much smaller, you know who that benefits? It benefits TNX because when he throws that furball down, you are caught in that tight corner. And, you know, claustrophobia, there's no way of getting out.
Yeah, Dominator Esports is going to take the victory in this match. And one of those players dominated the whole gorge. One of them stood taller, and that was Gerald on that match in Nui.
No arguments for me on this one. It's like 100%, it's got to be him. His impact, his solo kills. I mean, his 403 plus the 23% damage. He was just really had such an impact throughout the entire game.
So for all the people in the chat, why is Mai picked up? This is the reason why Joe is showing you that a good Mai, 403, this is the reason why she is prioritized in a lot of drafts.
We have been having that conversation during these last days, right? Like, we want to know exactly, is it just the Mai is not a good pick? Is it just the way way that they played it. What happened today that made that match just look so good?
Advantage. Look, I think the first minute or so, you took the Crimson buff, you took the ball cam, you had a lot of power in your pocket.
Yeah, it's very scary. Just the amount of damage and the fact that she can kind of dash away to safety whenever she wants, right?
Yes.
She's a very strong hero in that regard, but it's like one of those things where if you don't have a great early start, you really fall off because you're just like a glamorized range creep.
All right. So what about if we just kind of like move forward into this conversation? We just kind of like let the ball roll a little bit more. We're going to move into game 2. We're going to try our very best into trying to get it to know who is going to move forward. We need to talk a little bit about Dominator Esports and what is going to be their strategy.
I think we've heard it very clearly just now in the past like 15 seconds, which is a loud scream, the woo, and everyone goes in ham for that fight. I think, you know, that cheer, it really makes a difference for them, right? You want to be confident, you want to be motivated going into game number 2, and you are in a great position right now. You have game number 1, and the pressure is not on DMT, it is on Vitality.
What do you think?
100% agree, right? I think that the pressure on all of that and Dominator Esports being in the driver's seat is where you want to be, especially in a best of 3, right? Elimination game, I felt like, you know, Team Vitality kind of came out a little bit flat. It didn't seem like they were able to kind of play the way that we know them, but it mostly because around Gen.G's lineup, he wasn't able to get going.
As we are going to move into the game, before we do that, what about if we just go and analyze a little bit of how the players communicate, how do they play games, and how do they actually look like when they're not over there giving you their best performances?
Welcome to the 4-player chain charades minigame. The first player is given the answer and has to act it out to the second player. The second player then draws what he thinks is the answer, and it will be shown to the third player. The third player then acts it out one last time to the last player. This last player will then guess the answer. Let the charades begin.
Okay.
I think this is gonna be easy one.
No, I think.
Let's see.
Hopefully.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Okay, I see. It's an easy one, bro.
What?
Bro, you don't know, bro? Bro, this is easy one, bro. Let's go, bro.
Oh my god, I know, I remember.
You can.
I don't remember.
Bro, you can, bro. Just
Top lane champion.
top lane champions.
Wait.
Bro, come on, bro. This is easy, bro.
When you? I don't remember.
Bro, come on, bro. This is easy one, bro. The dragon skin.
I don't remember.
You got all the clue,
Oh
bro.
my god.
Bro.
Oh.
Why you don't remember that?
Good. GG.
GG.
I'm telling you, is that the best way just to express the Sunset ult?
I mean, it's a good one.
It's a good one, but is it the best one?
I mean, I think it's good enough. Some of the ults are like, I don't know what I would do, but I think that one is pretty on point.
Ken, what do you think? What would you do if it would be Sunset ult? Come on, show us.
I don't know, on a boat. Like, how do I show that I'm on a boat? Because there's also a Dune skin where he's like surfing. So I think that's why, you know, Freaks was kind of confused. So
I would do like sitting down and like rowing.
Yes.
Right? So
yes,
that
that would be a connection
like
to the boat.
right?
Yeah, true.
I would not get that. I would be like, what are you doing?
I would get a holler. It's totally fine, buddy. It's
No,
totally
I
okay.
would be thinking
you.
like
I
that
got you.
actually is Guan Yu because like on a horse.
Okay, this is why when we play charades, Isaac's going to be on my team.
I'm gonna
all
be
right?
your team.
We'll do really well.
It is just been a great game right now. Some of the bans and picks that we've had already in this one, what about if we just analyze a little bit? I know it's a best of 3, and when we talk about global ban and pick, it does not have that big an influence since we have so many different heroes. But when you analyze this, the Ogran is going to be available for Dominator on the other side.
So I think that, I mean, look, I think it would be great for Dominator to pick
Yes,
up.
exactly.
Again, it's one of those things where you like force TNX to play that playstyle, which is like the tanky frontliner. I think Team Vitality will be onto that. They might even ban it first phase to kind of take that away. But if you're looking at the lineup and the picks that were done by Team Vitality, that's a solid lineup. There's a lot of meta picks in this one. This is a good, very good potential to really take over. But Dominator Esports were just able to answer the call.
It's kind of a tough one for me because in my mind now, there's so many options to pick, right? If you take a look at DMT, what I'm thinking for them at this point is, look, why don't you go for the pay, right? And then just do a fast game, rush it down. And TNX as well, he has a mean Ogren. He has a, I mean, he's already showed his Agudo. For DMT, I would say, hey, TNX, please don't play the Luna now, you know? But for Vitality, if that happens, then you have the access for Jing, for Gen.G, and I think he loves that hero.
No, I do believe that it's going to come down to a little bit more of the assassin kind of jungler in this one. This one's got to be assassin against assassin.
It's got to be. It's got to be. I think more so for Gen.G more than anything else.
Yeah.
Let that man fly. Like, this is his jam, right? Like, that's his play style. He doesn't really like the tanky side. I mean, he's good enough. And, I mean, there's a reason why they're still in the KWC.
Yeah.
But if you really want to see this guy excel, you got to put him on an assassin.
And we need him to excel. We need him to just kind of carry the team right now because they're about to be eliminated.
So we're speaking to Kurus, which is their coach. Come on, my man. Give Gen.G an assassin. Anyone will do. We know he's a beast on that.
He's right there. Just talk to him. Just yell louder, huh?
I can't. That's counted as cheating.
I mean, it would help out. But, like, going into this one, I mean, look, you're seeing exactly how Dominator Esports are doing. That they ban out the Luna already. Understanding that, hey, we're going to try to attack Gen.G as much as possible.
I don't think it's an attack on Gen.G. It's more of like, TNX, no. You don't get to play the Luna.
Okay, that's another way of just ensuring that you secure the right play style for TNX. I mean, look, there's a lot of options, and I think that, you know, it looks like they could go for the Ogren themselves right here by Dominator Esports.
I think Team Vitality will not go for a jungle pick first. They will probably save it for later because it's very apparent that Dominator are prepared to counter-pick this jungle role, right?
Yeah.
So they will pick up the Dharma first. A great start, right? Tufts, I think he's had some flashy moments with the Dharma, and the truth does come clean with Team Vitality. So it's a good start.
Very good start. Very strong pick. Doesn't show anything. And plus, it's a great laner. I mean, everything you want from a Clash laner, right? So it's going to be great to start for them. But Arlie Byron deciding to go insta-pick to kind of counter this Dharma. I like it. I mean, very meta picks.
Yes, true, but already could be caught out by the Dharma as well. So they have that going for them on the side of Team Vitality. But this Byron and Dharma matchup, it really then comes down to, right, do you use your skills at the appropriate time? For the Byron, like you see here, survival is pretty decent, also decent damage. Difficulty-wise, look, he is sometimes a hero that is hard to play because you need to really work on his passive to get the shield back, to get sustained back into your life bars.
Yeah, I have faith in Guyu. I think it's going to be fine, right? I mean, he just understands how to play it. And I think that, like, look, especially in the beginning part of this draft, you want to be going Clash laner for Clash laner and then just kind of counter-picking more than anything else. The Gen.G Diadea versus, like, the Yuan Arlie, I mean, who are you giving the edge to between these two farm lanes?
I think, for me, I think it's Gen.G. I know Arlie is great as a hero, but timing is also of the essence, right? If you're able to get the golden token, which lowers the defenses on your opponent, the Arlie will get bursted down. My main concern here is, you know what would fit very well with Team Vitality? I think a hunching does well. You can chase down the Arlie.
Yeah, and actually that would be great for them to kind of, you know, last pick it, setting themselves. I mean, look, they're the Liu Bang. I mean, they could go with this combination right here, right? Hang on, let me see this. The Fade has been banned out. Again, more respect to Gen.G as well as the Menki. They're going all out. All of them junglers. If they're honed in on one thing, Dominator Esports are like, we're not letting Gen.G beat us.
Yes, and Team Vitality as well. Ban out the Ogren because you don't want another tank in the front of Dominator Esports' lineup. Now, while Byron does not exactly, he's not exactly a full tank per se, he's actually able to soak up a lot of damage with his ultimate and his passive as well.
Yeah, a lot of that damage. And that's kind of what you need. You need that frontliner, like, again, just to kind of tank up some of it because they're going to initiate on it. You need to survive and then let the rest of your team kind of clean up. The Yixing and Yuan, okay, great. I understand the control and everything and the sustaining, but my only concern right now with the Dominator Esports lineup is that they only have damage in the form of Arlie, right? The other ones, yes, they can do damage, but you need somebody that's a little bit more reliable. They'll probably pick something up for TNX.
I know it's a bit greedy, but maybe they can consider Jing, because Gen.G does not do too well. Yes, he can kind of debuff. Oh, okay, no, Jing is actually going to go into the hands of Team Vitality. So this Arlie that's going to be played by Ahem needs to really watch out in this game.
Yeah, he's got to stay alive. I mean, it's going to come back to this one. But I think that in the same way, the Jing could have been perfect for, you know, TNX on the Dominator Esports side. This is going to be an interesting pick to kind of counter that. I don't think that there's a whole lot of control to deal with the Jing. I mean, yeah, you have the Yixing, but the board, okay, like, it's all right. You have Byron Storm Strike, but we're going to have to see.
I think it's a Dune. It has to be a Dune. No, okay. They're going to take a risk here. DMT. This hero, the Flowborn tank, has had a 0% win rate in KWC. Will Dominator Esports be the first team to make this composition work?
All right, so with that data in mind, seeing that it is a 0% win rate on the Flowborn tank, we just go to a game 3. We should just get this, right? Like, it's just over, right? Like,
No. All right. At this part of the competition, yes, stats are important, but sometimes, especially in a game and a series that is as close as this, some stats do get thrown out the window.
yeah, look, I think that TNX will be up to the task on this one. I hope, right? Because at the end of the day, I just want to see the Flowborn tank like excel. I've always seen it as being a punching bag and just being on the losing side. It hasn't been great for them. But look, lineup aside, or lineups, who do you like?
Okay, well, it sounds weird, but I like the DMT one, even though there's a 0% win rate Flowborn tank here. The reason I like it is because it provides what the team needs. He is going to gather the attention of the lineup of Vitality. And I think DMT's coach, Mobo here, is so smart. Look, you want to dive? I'll give you a hero that allows you to dive so that you can create space for players like Joe and Ahem.
Okay. My only concern, though, is that it's more of like the damage dealing part. They have a lot of stuns, they have a lot of utility, but it really comes back to, you know, Ahem on this Arlie. Like, how much is he able to do? Because if he goes down, that's going to be, like, literally, I don't think they can team fight.
So that's the side of DMT, right? And then let's turn our attention to Vitality. Then this comes down to whether Tufts has a beautiful game on this Dharma. Because if he catches the Byron and the Flowborn tank together, not a good situation.
Yeah, he won't have a good time at all. So, I mean, going into this one, though, like, look, Team Vitality, this is all it, right? Is this the giraffe that you're going in like, hey, we can fight anyone with this lineup. We know that this is an elimination game. We're going to be comfortable with it.
I think it is plausible to think that it can give you that confidence, but Tufts needs to have an amazing game. And knowing that, I think DMT might make the first play at the top side of the map in the Clash League.
Yeah, they should be aggressive. They need to change that up. I mean, Dominator Esports did that last game, right? They were the aggressors. They got rewarded for it. They kind of set the tone for it, really taking the fight to Team Vitality and being like, hey, we might have lost to you, but we're going to go at you.
Okay, so the unspoken #1 of IKL coming in the form of Dominator, and of course, the third seed coming in for Team Vitality. A challenge that both want to rise to the occasion, but only one team makes it.
That's the craziest part about all of this, right? It's not only the representative of Indonesia at this point, but to kind of carry it on, one of these teams, it's heartbreaking, right? It sucks to see any of the teams get eliminated, but that is the nature of the beast. And going into this one with everything at stake, so much money, so much prestige, everything that you would want into this KWC, absolutely huge. And to be at its playing field, playing at that desk, I mean, it's got to be a huge honor.
Honor and stress as well, right? If you take a look at Zhang, this is the most, I don't know, stoic I've seen him. They have not cheered today. They have not screamed. They have not shouted. All of that screaming you heard in the background, that came from Team Dominator Esports.
All right, okay, I did not actually know that. When I hear screaming, I don't know who's screaming, but you seem to have that honed in and you understand it came directly from Dominator Esports. That's a sixth sense. That's awesome. But Team Vitality, I do agree with you, right? They are been largely quiet. Like heads down, I don't seem to understand why they're doing this. It seems like it's not really their play. They need to be fired up. They need to get going, and they need to start like some sort of fire under them.
Exactly. You know what? This is a cause of concern for Team Vitality. In fact, for all teams across esports, right? The moment a team goes quiet, you know that they're kind of sucked into an emotional range where it's like, look, guys, we have to be focused. And then you add additional pressure, which I feel like isn't the right time for it. You are already under a lot of burden. Lighten it, right? Make yourself confident. Talk about what are the win conditions you guys are going to achieve. Picture your success and go for it.
I don't know if it's correlation or causation, but the biggest thing that I've seen in the KWC over the past 5 days is that the louder you are, the better you are. Case in point, OG.
And Alpha 7.
Yeah, and Alpha 7. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, who had Alpha 7 winning that group? I mean, going back to that one, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that they were able to do it, and like they're so boisterous, they like love it, right? And that was an amazing play. And again, like people need to be louder. Right now, we've seen Dominator Esports kind of yelling and hyping it. Yes, they won that game, but they need to continue that on. Team Vitality need to get their, they need to get into this too.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm so happy that, you know what, we have a ambassador for EWC, so I get to say "Sue" for free, right? And I think that's what Vitality need right now, right? Even if it's cracking jokes, like lightening the mood, having some giggles and laughs. Look, serious is good. Serious is professional, and they are professionals, but they need to lock themselves in the game. This is the time to really lock in.
It's funny that you're talking about serious, because I don't think I've ever seen you serious before. So it's a very interesting way of being like, very preachy on that one, right? But yes, it does look like the ambiance, the way that the players are kind of sitting. Dare I say, like, this is the whole thing about taking that first game. You're putting the pressure on them, and now that stress is starting to build, and you can kind of feel the tension in the air.
Okay, I need to give you a rebuttal on that point. Look, I'm serious. I'm 100%, maybe 200% serious, but I'm seriously having fun.
Okay, all right, I see what you did there. Okay, yes, we're gonna move on.
There is no comeback.
That was good. No, I'm gonna let that one go. That was a good one. I think if we're looking at anything, Zanq, he had his glasses on the desk. Maybe that's why he's not able to see the game. No, I'm just kidding.
He doesn't need it. They have the mirror domain, so there's additional degrees to his vision there.
He's able to see everything, and he's able to do it in multiple places as well. But again, the players are just holding off just for a little bit longer to kind of ensure that everything is running smoothly. And going into this one, with everything on the line, is this draft good enough by Team Vitality to take on this Dominator one?
Let's compare, okay? So Yixing, a mid lane for the side of Dominator. Does he need a lot of gold? No. Princess Frost in the mid lane for Vitality. Does that need a lot of gold? No. Right, in terms of class lane, let's take a look at that. Class lane as well, Dharma and Byron, they can acquire gold on their own performance, right? It's a singular lane, nobody really needs to care too much about them. But it's the jungle difference, to me, that is very important.
So I'm like, this is why I'm just more interested in like how this is going to play out, because the Jing is very, very like obvious as of what they want to do. Obviously, jump onto the back line, and if you're looking at the rest of this lineup, you have some targets, right? You want the Yixing and the Arlie mainly, and to get onto that, you have that option, you have that mobility. But if we're looking on the other one, Flowborn, kind of more on the tankier side. Like, it definitely is going to stay alive, which is fine, but as another frontliner, but with all this utility and control, everything in terms of damage comes out of this Arlie.
Look, let me be clear about this. To our newer players, you're not going to catch this Arlie in lane. It's so hard. You have the heals coming out from Yuhuan, and if they have the information, the stuns coming in will be able to set up safety for the Arlie. The only way that they get the first blood on this Arlie on the side of Dominator is if they have a consecutive lockdown. Number one, coming in from 19. Vitality, this the idea, using the second skill. It's called the Bitter Farewell. You latch onto the target, they cannot move, they cannot use their skills, and then immediately followed up by the Princess Frost Frigid Prison. Maybe then you have that insta-kill.
Yeah, look, if they're able to kind of do that one, especially early, but like to come mid to late game when, a Hem goes slightly out of position, he gets caught out, he's going to die, right? And then the rest of the Dominator Esports will really struggle to take any sort of fight from then on.
I understand that, but I feel like it is a mistake that I don't think a Hem will make at this point. And Arlie is a very long-range hero, not because she has a long reach, but because she's able to reposition herself of which is going to be a very difficult situation because as a Princess Frost, your range is quite limited. You want to land your skills, and I play Princess Frost, and I know her struggles when you can't, like, it's almost impossible to touch an RD.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. It's going to be hard to kind of get on top of him, but you're basically on a Hem believer in the sense that, you know, like, he's going to stay alive perfectly. I'm just kind of, I hate to be negative Nancy on the cast, but this is one of those things where, like, you have to have that perfect positioning, always stay alive, and ensure that, hey, you're there. Because once you go down, the world crumbles for this team.
But that's a hard situation to go. And once again, my friends watching all of our broadcasts, that was a cheer coming in from Dominator.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after technical difficulty that we had in there, the game is ready to start. It's going to be Team Vitality against Dominator Esports. Holler, Kin, let's go.
Thank you so much, Isaac. As we get in underway, Game 2, Dominator Esports up 1-0 already. Team Vitality fighting for their tournament lives. Everything is at stake for them.
Yes, high stakes, high risk, high reward. That is the final challenge of the day, potentially, for the side of DMT. If they win this, they're sending Vitality home. One-way ticket, no return here.
I mean, that first game, when the first matchup, right, between Team Vitality and Dominator, when they first met, Vitality got the better of them, right? And they were loving it, right? The fact that they put the pressure on Dominator Esports, and now Dominator Esports on the Revenge Tour has a potential to knock out Team Vitality. That would be huge in terms of bragging rights.
Yeah, Revenge best served or cold, right? I think that's the quote. And at this point, it's ice cold in the veins. For the side of DMT, they have secured that opposition camp on the top side. They have taken their own camp at the bottom as well. There is very little advantage left for Vitality to go and acquire.
Yeah, very little advantage. But again, keeping it on pace. You just don't want to, like, lose out. I think that you want to be aggressive as much as possible. Again, everything is around ZhongQ. How is he going to get his farm? How is he able to get going? You need to ensure that, you know, he comes online. He wasn't able to do that in the last game.
How is he supposed to steal? That's the whole thing, right? As a Jing, you need to make the deficit big. You need to have them steal the camps away from the side of the Dominator. And until ZhongQ can achieve that result, it's automatically in favor of DMT.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Dominator Sports decide to be even more aggressive and look to take away that buff, that blue buff especially, if he's able to kind of invade, they're going to have a much more difficult time for ZhongQ to get going.
Yes, in fact, this Azure Golem is so critical, it's so precious to the side of Vitality. They need to make sure they keep an eye on it at all times.
Yeah, and look, a little bit of pressure already by Dominator. They're looking to go.
Yeah, the ball laid down, but for now it's just a pressurizing deterrence, right? To get the rotation faster, secure their own camp as well.
Yeah, and look, Team Vitality hold, nothing was really lost, but again, setting it up 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this game, like the rotations are kind of happening. There's a potential kill before that 4-minute mark for that Tyrant.
There really is. Okay, ZhongQ did manage to steal one camp away from the side of TNX. Does have a very slight level lead against TNX.
Look at this pressure. The TNX keeping on pace with ZhongQ, ensuring that he's got that farm. And Dominator Sports, like, look, you want to shove this lane as quickly as possible and then maybe invade the enemy jungle. That red buff is up there for a potential steal if they want it to go.
Which is why both Neo as well as 19, they are already keeping eyes on that Crimson Golem, right? They don't want to have those free gifts given to the side of Dominator.
Yeah, you're going to try to take that. You don't want to give anything up, but Tufts right now, it looks like he's going to invade here with this Truth, try to go for that Sprite.
Okay, that was not the biggest risk taken, right? The cooldown may be long, but it's not going to be that long that at the 4-minute mark, he doesn't have his ultimate again. He will have it.
Yeah, so at what point are you kind of like, TNX, you're good. You're good to go. Because again, this Flowborn tank, not the, I mean, it's definitely a new hero. So kind of walk us through some of this.
Okay, so he already has the Protector Cuirass. That's a half-item build. To be honest, at this point, 4-minute marks, I think he's good to go because he is not the main win condition. He's just supposed to soak damage. It's actually onto a Hem. He needs that Doomsday ASAP, which is just about a couple hundred shy.
A little bit behind, at least in terms of, yeah, so he's got this one, 2.2K, 200 gold behind, but Zan putting pressure on, returning the favor in that bottom lane.
Okay, so he does have the Swift Strike Lance, and going straight into the Spark Force Dagger, so he does have some damage potential here.
And look at this, the Tyrant, they're kind of making their way around, and all 5 members from both squads are pretty much congregating, but it looks like ZhangQ is actually backing out.
They can't contest this, and you can understand why. Look, Vitality, if they make a mistake here, they lose an advantage, and DMT is going to walk all over them.
Yeah, it's all about keeping pace as much as possible, but losing the Tyrant, I mean, look, I love that Tyrant because the buff is very helpful, especially in the early game.
Yes, they do get the ball down. Onto 19 only. Does have the ultimate expended for now. Oh, it is going to be an invulnerable, but here comes a knockup. Tusk gets the first blood for the team, and they secure the team 1 as well. This is a good start for the side of Vitality.
What a great play there. I mean, the fact that Tuff's showing up at the right time, that was perfect. And that ambush was on point. That angle that they went in. Gerald had a really nice taking liberties. L actually saw that and thought that he was the aggressor. He had to go defensive and got stuck under the tower and got it caught out of position.
This is why situational awareness is so important, right? Jill putting that ball down. It might look good for the moment, but if you're not going to be catching the important targets that your team wants, like ZhangQ or Zan, then you potentially open yourself up for a counter initiation, which was what happened.
Yeah, and L just, again, thought he was just in a safe spot, thought he was there, but not the greatest situation for them. And Dominator paid with their lives, so to speak.
Okay, but here's one thing. They do have the knockdown. They have range poke on the side of DMT. So that provides them a certain safety net at this point.
Yeah, you need that nice little balance, right? I think Gerald needs to be kind of the initiator, dare I say, especially if he's able to kind of catch them out with those perfect boards. Gerald's going to have a great time.
Look, I like the fact that TNX is actually rushing the Long Night Guardian. That's the white little armor that you see in his inventory, because it recovers his life. So that allows him to tank a little bit more.
Yeah, looks like they want to go.
They actually force him to expand the mirror domain. So TNX, very good job just limiting the resources as they try to look out for Zan here. I don't think they will commit too much.
Yeah, they're not going to fully commit on that one. But again, just an all down. That means a little bit less mobility and the potential. But he's looking to invade, at least in the top side.
Yep, Neo gets caught out, use the flash, still gives his life, and L punishes him. The 1-for-1, it's a big recovery for the side of DMT.
Yeah, just like that area is super awkward with that wall. I mean, that flash, he tried to get the right angle, but it's just not far enough. And again, they just made him pay. Dominator Esports to get the return kill, and it's tied up 1-1.
I think Neo is going to have a very difficult game because TNX, number 1, able to reposition himself. Hem, you don't need to say, that is one of the most mobile heroes in the game. L can actually use his ultimate to get out of danger. And Guyi has a dash in his kit as a Byron. So the only person that really will get caught out is Jill. So Neo, do you really want to kill Jill? Is that the best target? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, he needs to stay alive more than anything else. Like, look, he's a Princess Frost. He doesn't have to get all the items and do all that damage. He just needs to stay alive, cycle his spells, get as many stuns off as possible.
Yeah, 19, just giving a taste of what that latch is going to feel like to the side of Jill. Right now, DMT is just trying to get a little bit more control around the map.
ZhangQ gets that smite. He ensures that he gets the blue buff. That was huge. If Dominator Esports were able to steal that away and slow down ZhangQ, because he's starting to get out of control right now. He's almost got a 1K net worth lead over TNX.
That's great, right? That's what you want to have happen as a Jing. For now, you know that you can't fight. You need to make sure that you are far ahead of a Hem, because that is your natural target, right? The MM. As a jungler, assassin, go for the farming.
Yeah. I mean, look, Ahem is also behind. He's about 600 gold himself to Zan. And then not only that, ZhangQ is starting to hit that critical mass where he can start doing some damage if he gets on top of Ahem.
So positioning, like I said, is very important for Ahem. He needs to be very careful, and information is so critical. This is where L, as a E1, needs to make sure he gives the correct information at the correct timing.
All right, to recap to the viewers back home, we were talking in the pregame about how Ahem was going to have perfect positioning. That was what Kindofu was saying. Let's see if they can live up to it.
Yeah, these are expectations across the board. I'm very sure it's not just my expectations, because look, this is a potential game-ending series here. A.C.T coming out as Zan. How did he do that?
Oh, that was actually highway robbery. Kin, what is the number to 911?
I have no idea, but right now it's the time to go. Tusk gets the kill onto L as well. A perfect start for the side of Vitality as TNX 1v5. What are you doing? As Tusk gets the catch on the Guyi as well. That is 2-3 there's on the side of DMT and Vitality. This is the power spike.
Oh gosh, TNX TNX, sometimes like you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and sometimes TNX going in like that, not great, especially since, I mean, L was already down. Why are we continuing on? There's no reason to fight. We're just bloodthirsty. These are things that you really need to rein in.
Yeah, and TNX once again caught off guard, right? We're diving in the middle of 5 different members on the side of Vitality. What was that?
Yeah, what was that indeed? Like, just a crazy fight. I mean, L had died. Like, there's no reason for TNX to go in, and now he's fighting 1 versus 4. Guyu was on the side, but it's a 2 versus 5. That's a terrible fight to take.
Exactly, and this is where the punishment comes in from Team Vitality. They're going at it against TNX. He gets taken down and double kill for Gen.G. And once again, they're outnumbered, and the map is fully in favor of Team Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, completely in favor. Like, look, TNX needs time to farm, and dare I say, like, this is not the way. Continue throwing bodies at it, trying to slow this freight train that is Team Vitality. Not a good situation for Dominator Esports to be in.
Yes, and T3 now at the 10-minute mark taken on the side of Dominator. This is horrible.
Horrible. Checking out this replay. Yes, Tufts got picked off, and like, look at how low Jurl was, but they made him pay. And now TNX continuing to stick around. And like, why are you fighting 1 versus 3? It looked like Guyu and L were already retreating. That's a terrible spot to be in.
I'm starting to believe this is misinformation. Jill, every time he lands that ball, right, DMT have this confidence that yes, we have gotten the correct targets. But if you notice at that moment, Gen.G was not in that board, and he came out from the shadows, caught everyone off guard.
So it looks like TNX or Guyu need to be up front, initiating, finding the target, and then, because he's already on top of him, then Jurl will go in with the board.
Yeah, Gen.G is at 10,000 gold at the 11-minute mark. This is close to 1,000 a minute.
Actually crazy if you're thinking about it, right? TNX getting completely outclassed at this point. Gen.G is just otherworldly on this one. And just look at the top T2, one single slice, boom, done.
Yep, and right now the T3s on the other lanes are all being threatened as well. DMT, they have to hold on for now. Gui takes a couple of licks here.
Yeah, but look, Gen.G might have gone too deep. TNX tried to go for the rebuttal, not able to find him. And look, even if he did, he's so far behind where Gen.G could just like solo him one-on-one.
Yeah, they're pulling him out. And actually, that's what Ahem needs to do, right? He should be baiting Gen.G out into the heart of DMT where he gets destroyed.
Yeah, and it looks like Dominator Esports have to just like to hold. They're losing their jungle. The lead from Team Vitality is starting to grow even more, up about 5K at this point. Team Vitality, just this is their game.
Definitely. And the Crimson buff in the hands of Zen as well as they go for the Shadow Overlord. No debuff anymore, no Primal Bond. And they will happily oblige.
Happily taking this one. Shadow Overlord, that means a big old Vanguards will be pushing all the different lanes, plus you have the Shadow Vanguard itself, so you have a lot of options in terms of just overall push, but again, it just takes away over the map from Dominator Esports here.
Yes, take a look at the goal chart. Gen.G once again at the top of this goal chart. They will summon their Overlord at the top side of the map, so that is a 1 lane of opening for the side of Team Vitality to put pressure.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on Team Vitality, grown into about 6K at this point. Gen.G, never say die. This is the elimination one. 4,000 gold ahead of TNX. TNX has not really found his footing in this one.
He has Siege Breaker already. If he gets his hands on Ahem, it's over. They will try. Gui tries to go for it, but the flash by Neo makes them out of position. Gui taken out. He finds himself in a 1v5 in Vitality. This is great.
Yeah, it's great for them. I mean, Guyu was trying to make the heroic play a la, kind of like TNX in a way, not able to get it.
Yep, TNX jumps in, but gets frozen. Oh no, this is not what you want. He will try to survive, but Zen gets the killing spree off of that. 9-3, the map is very open. This is just one T3 in the mid.
Oh, the Frigid Prison was on point. TNX just trying to get on it. He thought he was fine.
Oh, now the water catch as well. Slams them against the wall, and the crystal is wide open. There is a Vanguard. They get another kill. A rampage for Gen.G as Vitality swing back into power.
What a great game. And again, we knew that, you know, Team Vitality were going to do this. This is what they needed to have done. Gen.G was like, look, get on my shoulders, guys. I will carry you. Yes, Team Vitality, the rest of them played very well and ensured that they did this. But this is, again, just Team Vitality playing to their strengths.
I mean, they're fully locked in. This is something so interesting. So as we look at the game progressing, right? Look, nobody stopped Zhang. There was never a steal on the Azure Golem. There was never a good positioning where Joe was managing to catch him in the board. Nothing. There was nothing to stop the growth of Zhang.
Yeah, nothing at all. I mean, look, you were talking about the fact that, like, I mean, we had some questions, right? Like this Flowborn tank, still 0% after that game, right? Nothing that could have been done. It doesn't really matter who's playing this hero. It just has not really just excelled in any way. Like, also think, like, Ahem, perfect positioning, tough, right? Like, how are you trying to go in? But when Guyu and TNX are trying to make these heroic plays, like 2 versus 5, it's not a great situation for them.
Yeah, he actually had a safe positioning for Ahem. And it felt like, you know what, they totally ignored Ahem for a good portion of the game. They were actually going for TNX because they know that he loves to dive.
You just goad him out, right? You just like kind of go out there and then just like, it's like the fishing hook, like the typical bait, just trying to get him out. How many times did he die? Most of these highlights are of just TNX dying.
Exactly, and a lot of good positioning coming from Zen as well. Very good presence of mind, situational awareness as well. And this time, look, Neil took a very good revenge here. He was slapped around in the first half of the game, but the one singular Frigid Prison catching TNX out, that was the opening they needed, right? There was no tank available for the side of DMT. It was a lost cause from there.
Yeah, just staying alive. I mean, that was the biggest thing by Neil, but Team Vitality really able to just strike back and do it in its style. Like, very business-like, right? Even Zhang, normally the most boisterous on the team, but this one is just like, hey guys, just high fives around.
Normally he's quite explosive, right?
Yeah.
You get the win, he's like cheering like, yeah, let's go. But this time, I think maybe silence is golden for now, and they really want to focus on, okay, we keep calm and we keep composed throughout the entire experience.
Yeah, but my theory has always been the louder you are, the better you are. They need to stick with that strategy, and it's not working.
Yeah, we need them to be more energetic, but for now, I think with the tying up of the series, it's a great step into game number 3.
Well, everyone who thought that it was going to be a 2-0 sweep, I'm sorry. It is not going to be. We are having a great time. It's going to come to game 3. I really like the way that things changed. We got a lot more of the assassins right now, and that just made the pace a lot faster. And that was a lot more enjoyable for game than the game number 1.
Yeah, for sure. And it actually just comes back to the playstyle as well. Zhang, you clearly see why he's so good on that. He's able to out-farm you, he's able to out-damage you, and just jump on top of you. Let Zhang fly.
He really is the definition of silence right now, because he was silent in the game, busy farming. I want to take a look at his total gold down here, 27%. He was farming hard, gathering resources for the team. And with that ability and items, he dealt 30% of the team's total hero damage.
He was just such an impact, right? I mean, he's the clear MVP, at least in my eyes. I don't know what they're else looking at this point, because again, that 63,000 damage, just so much damage on top of just being on the front line and just being so disruptive.
Yep. The other contender is actually Zan and Tubbs, because Zan was also very busy throwing his tokens as well. He was actually going to the arcade.
Yeah, like taking everything as well, doing a whole bunch, poking and prodding as well. Just again, that's very annoying to deal with. Team Vitality really doing a good job of just synergizing.
Yeah, so I'm so curious, because if you take a look at this lineup, TNX, I think he really is the win or lose condition for DMT. He did not have a good game.
I was gonna say the win or lose condition for Vitality, but it's the same thing, same way we were looking at it. But I mean, 0-3-2 did not really have much of an impact. I mean, yes, his gold, he was actually 4th place on the team in terms of farm as well. He just really struggled. He was constantly just trying to force it, but like he had 0 impact.
Exactly. And if you take a look at the gold, right, 13.1 thousand in the bank for Zhang. He had already full 6 slotted at the 12,000 gold mark.
Yes.
And this was like well before the end of the game.
You know, and Zhang just came in, and as you just mentioned, became bigger and bigger and bigger as the time gained. And the MVP is going to have to be him. Zhang is going to be the MVP. Maybe it's just that personal skin that he's just pulling there, and the Satoru Gojo skin that he just pulled with the white hair.
Exactly. It's the same color as Jing.
Yeah,
you see?
That's
the
why.
color buff.
He's getting
the
away.
one that you mentioned, Kim.
Okay, so is there a hero that has red hair? Okay, I don't do well with Arlie.
Pay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be a tiger from now on. But jokes aside, 406, this guy, there's a reason why his KDA is so good, because he chose the most important of times to come into fights.
Yeah, he was always there when you needed to. But like again, in the early game, largely missing, but that's what you want.
That's
He's
fine.
farming, right?
Yep.
He's using that space, taking advantage, and we were kind of like, is he able to keep on pace? But he was just accelerating so quickly. He had so much mobility. That, I mean, they gave out the first tyrant. They were like, no, it's going to slow me down. If I were to contest, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to carry you in the end.
I think this is a very clear distinction between the jungling styles of Zhang and TNX. So if you notice, Zhang is very calculated. He only goes in when he knows that it's going to be a guaranteed kill.
True.
He goes in, takes the kill. But for TNX, based on what we've seen him perform in KWC, it's more of like, I'm going to die first, and then we think about what we're going to do from there.
Yeah.
And it's tough on TNX because of his hero pick, right?
Yeah.
Like the way that he just went over there in that Flowborn, it is not working. And someone is going to have to come in. Whoever that is going to be that is going to come and take that first win with the Flowborn tank, that person is going to really, should take our own trophy.
Yeah, yes, obviously. And they, again, I made the joke yesterday about winning with Flowborn tank, you can put it on your LinkedIn. Because
Yes.
I don't think it's going to be, I don't know. I'd be very surprised to see in which team does it in the KWC.
I mean, we know which teams will do it, but that's a story for another time. Right now, I'm curious about Vitality. You have picked up your first Assassin jungler of the game, of the series, won with it. Do you get access into the Fade?
Yeah, look, I'm pretty sure Dominator will still be honing in on that guy. He is just a maestro on that hero. You cannot give Zancu. It's a respect ban. You got to ensure that he doesn't get that hero.
Agreed, but there's many more. There's like the Pei. There is, what else is there? I can only remember. Yeah, Lam is good as well.
Yeah, like there are definitely options, but it's one of those things where like just this one hero, it doesn't seem like any team has an answer for it. The pay and things like that, we've kind of thought through. We have a counter draft in mind. We have ways.
But we know that the coaches are thinking the same as us, right? Like they're just thinking about, okay, which assassin can we get our hands on? Let's imagine there's no assassins in there who can actually stand from a different lane to be able to be the core or be the carry in this team.
Yeah, so it's going to be important going into this draft, right?
Yeah.
Again, I think that this is why the chess match and this global ban pick format is just amazing because, like, again, it's going to come back to, like, what are they going to play? How are we going to ban and just take away some of those good heroes?
And I think it's a very scary notion for DMT especially because when you want to pick, you know you're going up against assassins. Then you know the picks like the big burst utility artillery mages like the Gun and Mo, the Nua, these are not options you want to explore. It's a huge risk going up against an assassin lineup.
If we were to nullify just the junglers, do we have an option in there? Can someone else just kind of like stand up and just tell like, okay, I'm going to be the core?
It has to be the class stainers, right? The difference maker is going to be with it. Like we've seen the success of Tufts on this Dharma. Now there is still Fatih to be played. There is still, you know, maybe the Sun Tzu could come into play. We've seen teams like Nova pick up the Fuji as well. These are all viable picks because as the later the game goes, there is a potential for them to carry.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to help them out. I think that it's going to be key for them. But Dominator Esports, look, I was kind of not really happy with their draft in that game too. You didn't really see too much value. I mean, the Flowborn tank was like a giant question mark for me. And then the rest of it, it just seemed like they were really lacking in damage. It didn't seem like there was the team synergy that they really needed from some of these heroes.
Okay, we're back to stock standard. I truly disagree with you. I think Dominator Esports had a decent draft. It was just that the execution was not as good. In fact, I would dare say it was poor.
Well, definitely execution was poor on that one, right? But what is it? More execution or was it draft? I think it was draft because, again, you need to put your best foot forward, and that was a very underwhelming one.
That's true. I mean, you as a coach, you want to give your players the best utilities, best tools to go to the battlefield with. Now, whether it was sufficient in game number 2, that is a past story. Right now, game number 3, this is the ultimate decider of the series. You want to enable your team with the best heroes possible, and Team Vitality have gotten 2 of the best, the Lung and the Lianpo.
Very strong picks. I think it's, I mean, look, you're countering the Zhang Fei as well, and you're putting yourself into a great position to potentially go for this one. But it just like, and they picked up the Fade themselves. Interesting.
I love this. And does it fit into TNX's style? It does. It is a dive hero, and you get in, get out, get the kill, and you know, flashy explosions behind you, Jade explosions behind you for that matter.
Yes, great little pick. Plus, they picked up the Liu Bang, right? A lot of coverage, right? If Fade wants to go aggressive, cool. I got you with I got your back, but basically with his Battlefield Command.
So I think, okay, once again, the thing here is Dominator have a decent draft, right? There is quite a bit of tankiness coming in. They have the Zhang Fei, they have the Liu Bang as well. But execution-wise, is it going to make sense for them? Can they keep pace with TNX? Because this game, he's going to be much faster than his teammates.
Definitely, definitely. But look, Liu Bang is as fast as he's going to go. He's like going to sit in the compartment like this. He's going to sit shotgun in this car, so to speak, because he's able to just jump on. The Zhang Fei could potentially just jump in when they need to, so you have that. But you got to rein him in. When you initiate with TNX, you got to go together.
That's true. That's true. I mean, the pacing is so important. And look, Dominator Esports, they feel that team vitality, they want to make use of tanky junglers, which I know is a great strategy, but Zhang hasn't really performed that well in tank junglers.
Yeah, please do not do that. I think that team vitality, like if I see a Dune or something like that, or a Mankey, I'm just going to be like, okay, this game is over. Because like draft-wise, it makes sense. Player-wise, it does not.
Yeah, look, everyone has their signature style, and I think Zhang has already made it apparent since coming into I.K.L., showing up at KWC. He is an assassin player. There is no two ways about it.
Yeah, and look at the rest of this lineup. I mean, Team Vitality, I like where they're going. I like the Fatih pick. How are they going to mitigate what this Fade brings? Lady Jun, definitely squishy, definitely a #1 target for Dominator Esports to take away that utility and that stun, because if you're looking at the rest of Team Vitality's lineup, they don't really have a lot of lockdown.
That's true. They don't have a lot of sustainable lockdown, right? It's something that you require Dominator to really stand at that position and continue being CC'd. But I love this. Okay, Dominator, they will take the risk. They pick up the Nuwa, they pick up the Consort Yu. So they want to have a good laning phase against the Long, but they also want to have that big burst potential. So not only do you have to care about the Fade, you have to care about the Nuwa as well. So many different targets.
A lot of targets, a lot of dare I say, not my favorite heroes in the Consort Yui as well as the Nuwa, but I understand where they're coming at. It's about survival. Once you have that like lock-in with those like the coalescence blocks, the creation with the matrix that you get from Nuwa, you're going to have a great time. But the last pick here for Zhang
Hansing.
Hanshin? Actually, that makes a lot of
Trust
sense.
Give them a Hanshin. Okay, he goes for Musashi.
Okay.
That's fine as well. There is a potential of a chase down with the duo to the depths. Musashi's ultimate, if you didn't know, is also a tracking ability. So once he locks onto you, regardless of where you go, even if you, I don't know, a rare situation, TP back home, he's going to follow you all the way to your fountain.
Yeah, and a great one in that sense. But Zhang, the Musashi, going up against the TNX Fade, I did not have this on my bingo card.
Yeah, I definitely did not. I was expecting the Fade to be banned out. But I think it's better to use the hero that they're familiar with and use it against them. It's kind of like a bragging right as well.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be huge. I mean, if he's able to... Look, at the same time, Zhang knows how the Fade plays, right? He knows the weaknesses, right? And they were like, okay, Musashi, I think, can counter it. We're able to go assassin, well, jungler for jungle. When those team fights happen, you know he's going to be focusing in on him.
That's true. And also, talking about the hair buffs, I think Fade's hair color is the same as TNX.
Okay, so are they brothers now? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, they're cosplaying each other. But with this being said, end of the day, I think why Musashi is such a great pick for the side of Dominator is also because he is quite tanky as well. He survives the 1v5s.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, assuming he's able to do that.
Minions will arrive in 5 seconds.
It is set. That's it. We're gonna move into the last game. This is going to be our game 3 of this match number 2. Dominator Esports is going to be on the blue side. Team Vitality is going to be on the red. Whoever that wins this one joins us tomorrow on the last chance.
Do or die. There is no second chance. There is no do-over. So Vitality and DMT, they have placed their cards. This is the time to show up.
Yeah, this is game 3 elimination. I mean, one of these teams is going to go home. Very sad. Who from I.K.L. is going to survive?
Yeah, I mean, they're representing not just themselves, but they're representing the region as well in the world stage. And this is a very important thing because you want your region to show up in the world stage.
Yeah, I kind of want to know what the people think from I.K.L. Like, the fans, the true fans. Like who do you want your champion to be?
Yeah, I'm curious as well because DMT did dominate in I.K.L., but they lost. So are we in the camp of DMT or are we in the camp of Vitality here?
To be honest, I'm looking at these drafts. I just don't like the counter Yui Nua. Like, I understand why they have it. Is TNX going to get that space to really utilize that, to put the pressure on, so that Jurl and Ahem can really shine on these heroes? Because once they're on the losing side, it's not going to be easy, especially against some of these really meta heroes on the Vitality side.
That's true. I mean, okay, so here's the thing about the draft, right? They have so many countermeasures. 19 going to be a big disruption against Ahem and Joe on the backlines as well. And at the same time, if you don't keep your eyes on TNX, he really messes up the fight for you on the side of Vitality.
Yeah, I think that this is pretty much all she wrote, like in terms of like, how does TNX do on this fade? If he's able to pop off, if he's able to get to the back line on that Lung or that Lady Jean Neil, he's gonna have a great time. But like, is he gonna have that time to do so?
That's true, but also taking into consideration for game number 2, I think it's very important that DMT maybe try to slow down Zhang. They're not doing that yet.
Yeah, not yet, but it's still very early, right? It's like 2.5 minutes in. At the same time, like TNX is like so focused on his own farm, he's not really like worried too much about Zhang at this stage. But Zhang, again, like his mobility will get him from place to place, creep to creep as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think he matches pace with the Fade as well. This is why this matchup is so interesting, because both teams, they have this potential to be super explosive in their growth. The snowball potential is extremely high on both ends.
Yeah, and Dominator Esports, look, it really comes down to Guyu and L really making those saves, those plays to keep everybody alive, that disruption, ensuring those damage dealers really stay alive and to continue to like do their damage. Because Dominator Esports, those 3 members, like TNX, Drill, Ahem, kind of on the squishier side.
Yeah, but they have explosive burst damage, right? So
true.
We really need to take a look at the timing here. TNX, I really hope this game he doesn't take too many unnecessary damage.
Yeah, that's got to be the biggest thing, right? Like, how does TNX play? Because, you know, sometimes he just gets completely caught off guard or out of position, puts in his team in a bad spot.
Yeah, and Zhang, he's the more steady between the two, right? You know him to be the composed, calm. He's steady, he's rock, foundational for the team.
Yeah. But sometimes, you know, it's the whole, like, how crazy they can get, right? Versus, like, the stability that you're looking for. Because, like, it's like a high-risk, high-reward, dare I say, for TNX at times. Like, sometimes he's absolutely brilliant when he goes on.
We'll see. We'll see. We have about 12 seconds, 10 seconds before the first neutral objective of the game. This might swing a lot of things into their favor. As you can see, the Jade cuts are waiting for the side of TNX.
Yeah, look at how they're kind of moving around that Tyrant spawning here. They instantly start it, and TNX over the wall, already at half-life.
There's no way to contest.
Yeah, no way. Zhang was not even close to being there, but I think Team Vitality are like, actually, we're okay with that.
They know about it, so they actually immediately go for a change in terms of objectives, secure their own buffs. This might allow them to make that early rotation, which is exactly what Zhang is doing.
Yeah, and he's trying to just rotate here. I mean, looking to push it out. He spotted that the blue buff was there, but they're looking maybe for a gank in the top lane. Not going to really happen because Guyu has that get out of jail free card in the Battlefield Command.
Right now, everything is balanced, but Zhang is going to be forced to use his dragon form. Gets out, and this means the T1 at the bottom snipe. Oh, that was close. Does not hit the mark. T1 at the bottom, saved by the efforts of 19 as well.
That was completely in the dark. If Jurl hits that and gets first blood, that would have been absolutely insane.
And if there's any person you trust to make that shot, it has to be Joe, right?
Yeah. He's done it like what? He's stolen so many Tyrants already. I mean, he's just been on points. But this emerges just a scouting expedition.
Yeah, the emergence, a very important skill for Noir players. This is your 3rd skill. Allows you to TP, and when you land, you will get a shield that is pretty high value, actually.
Pretty high value, and you catch people off guard. I mean, the animation is large, but if they're so far in front, then you have a potential chance to get that flank.
That's right. Now, 10X, he has been farming in the middle, the duo to the death. Not sure what the idea was there, because they needed follow-up. Duo to the death is a great skill, but it always needs to be followed up.
I think he's just like, hey, I just have this ult, I haven't used it. Let's use it one time, just to kind of see what happens. No?
Maybe. I mean, play the mental game, right? Like, hey, you know, anytime, I got you.
This is just 1 of 100 doing the best to you. I will be going directly at you, TNX.
I will stare you in the face.
But TNX, again, largely unfazed by that. He's going to continue to farm. Has a level advantage over Zhang, if anything, though.
And that is a bit concerning if you're a Vitality fan, right? Because, okay, sure, you can give the silence to Zhang, but for now, the fact that TNX is out-farming him in terms of EXP and gold is going to be a cause of a problem. 5.1 thousand.
Yeah, it might not be the easiest thing here. I mean, he does have that lead, but TNX is doing a great job of just continuing to farm. He needs to put his head down until he hits that critical mass, maybe steal some buffs away, and Zhang needs to do, like, he needs to return the favor.
Yeah, and this is why the L Zhang pick is actually quite smart here. They will get the steal. 10x steals away the Crimson Golem. This could be a difference maker in the team fight.
Yeah, and look, Zhang was nowhere nearby. I mean, he's been like the buff timers has completely shifted in favor of Dominator. They have all tags on everybody at this point and making life a little bit more difficult for Zhang to come back in this one.
I mean, the idea on the side of Vitality now is to try and funnel a little bit more farm onto Zhang, right? They need him on equal terms against the likes of TNX.
He's like your win condition. I mean, Zahn is going to do some heavy lifting himself, but those are the two that really need to just have a great game. They cannot be dying, and they cannot be out of position.
Yes, because you can't rely on 19 as a one-man army. There is no way he's going to survive all of the burst damage. Ahem, Joe, and KNX, these are the three most damaging heroes in the game.
Yeah, a lot of damage, a lot of potential for this one, but now the potential steal.
Yep, Gen.G, he gets caught out, but the heal comes in. The board is not, the box is laid down, Matrix, but first blood goes to Vitality. It's 2 kills in quick succession as VIT, they're on form. Gen.G somehow, even with all that gold, does not make it work for Dominator.
Yeah, I mean, 2 for nothing, that was actually perfect for Team Vitality. Being able to engage that the way they did, was able to kind of crush it out. Now they're going to look to turn this and convert it into a bottom T1. Just a great turn of events for Team Vitality here.
And like we said, this is the risk, right? You pick up the Nuwa, you pick up the Consort Yu, but you're going up against a very damaging lineup from Vitality as well. If you can't protect your damage dealers, you're gone.
Yeah, and Tufts has to slow down Guyu. He's going to be backing off here, but that was a great initiation. Damage dealt 19. Boom! Roam lives matter, my buddy. He's top on the list.
I mean, it's really just based off of that particular engagement, right?
Whatever, whatever. Just stop underselling him. He's doing a great job.
Yep, he's 19, new player, okay, he's doing great, he's the best, oh my goodness.
No, but that's kind of what you want. I mean, setting it up, right, for Lian Po. But it's more about the disruption that he provided. I mean, he had some decent stunts. He's just been playing very well. I mean, getting it in, that's what you want in the roam game. That impact, especially early.
And I like this understanding and awareness from both mid laners. Both Neo and Jill, they go straight for the Splendor first.
Yeah, just staying alive, right? That's more than anything else. You want to be in the far back line, and you know you're going to be a #1 target here.
Look, this game, I will be surprised if Dominator give any objectives to the side of Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, look at that one. It's going to be tough at this point, but Team Vitality with the 2 gold or 2 kill lead are actually about 2K behind Dominator Esports, who've just been farming a little bit better.
Yep, and more importantly, it's the jungle and the farm lane that have this advantage. So Ahem is actually able to dish out quite a bit of damage, as well as 10x.
Yeah, and those are the 2 that you want, especially in those 2 lanes, and the rolls and everything with the damage that they provide. But TNX, like, he's been off the map. Like, the guy is super focused and putting his head down and farming.
Very uncharacteristic of TNX, right? We know TNX as the guy who likes to dive, gets in the heat of things, and then, you know, it's a 50-50. Do you get a big win out of the engagement, or do you have suffer a big loss?
Yeah, and I mean, look, if you're going to be the coach of Dominator Esports, like, this is the biggest thing. You have a very mechanically skilled, gifted player on your team, but you just need to rein him in just a little bit so that he has a little bit more efficiency.
Yeah. Look, TNX is going in, they're looking for an opening, but he gets caught out. Can they survive? No, he will not. TNX immediately taken down, and a lot of damage by Zen onto the opponent farm lane. Ahem is falling low. Now Zen, while he is low on life, they have thwarted that event. DMT, they don't have access into this first 10-minute tirade.
So in the same way, Zhang, like, picking this Busashi was great, right? It's a great counter pick. The bad side to this is now you're exposing, hey, this is a really good counter pick against the Fade, which he likes to excel on.
Yeah, this is a great idea, right? And the fact that, look, they actually combine Tufts along with Zhang to make sure that the damage comes through. Very smart customization of the hero kits.
I mean, dual death, it doesn't matter if you're jumping on the walls. I'm able to find you out. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm going to go and kill you.
And right now, I don't think you steal this away. Yeah, so it's guaranteed for TNX. They get the Shadow Tyrant on the side of Dominator. And Vitality's game plan, very simple. That's the reason why they took that first Shadow Overlord. We're not going to fight you. We're going to push the lanes.
Yeah, I mean, they've taken almost every big neutral. So TNX, if anything, is looking more to the long term about just getting that net worth lead. He has about an 800 gold lead. Yes, he got caught out that one time, but still, this is a situation where he's literally out farming everyone on the map.
Okay, but for now, I think the game will go late. Based on how Vitality is playing, they're expecting the late game here.
Yeah, they're definitely expecting it.
But here they go. Yep, they're going to try. The Annihilation comes in. They get that insta-kill double for the side of TNX with Neo and 19 taken down. Now, is that the important targets? Not really the best ones you want, but you take what you can get.
Yeah, the Hardened Jade Seal on both of them. Neil and 19, both crystallized, explodes in front of you. Just a great little animation as well, and finding them. And now with the numbers advantage.
TNX, oh no, what are you doing? Instantly melted down by Zen. Punish. That was the hardest punishment I've ever seen. Now DMT, they're gonna suffer a little bit because the Overlord is flying on the bot.
What a trap that was set there by Zanq and Zan. They have some serious burst on this team. They knew TNX was gonna be rotating bottom. I mean, it's just a typical one, right? You think you have a two-man advantage, you think you're safe, but Zanq and Zan are like, no, we got you, bro.
And that's why Vitality played the late game. Because in late game, Tufts is an absolute monster. Zen is a one-hit machine.
Yeah, but they need to survive. I mean, they're down about 2K, and it doesn't seem like they can't go to the late game. It's just more of the fact that, like, Dominator have gotten their right answers.
Oh, they got the catch as well in peril, but it's saved by the team. Can they get the revenge here? They do as Joe. He shuts down Zanq. Here is TNX. He wants the kill. Can you get it here? As Tufts, he's going to use his first skill. Jumps out to safety, and the revenge is not delivered.
Not revenge, but I mean, Zanq going down, I think TNX will happily take this one. That was a huge win for them. Bouncing back, right? Zanq was going aggressive. Again, he's been like a laser missile, like homing missile on TNX, going after him almost every single time. He pays with his life this time, though.
That's the risk of taking an assassin jungler here. Now, 19, he takes quite a bit of damage as well, but it's all good because they want to make sure this T1 in the mid is well protected.
Keeping it alive, slowing the game down. It's all about that space that the T1 provides, right? That vision, being able to push forward, especially when these bigger objectives like the Overlord and the Tyrants are in play. You definitely need those to keep you sustaining in that mid game.
Yes, and for now, Vitality, I think they really need to take care of the structures, right? Both teams, two apiece, 2 towers apiece, and if there is an advantage in the mid lane, DMT will start to walk all over Vitality.
Yeah, they have that potential, but they haven't really been able to shut down Team Vitality. They've been very resilient. They've been able to kind of stick through, and I mean, look, he's still like doing very well.
Yeah, Zen, he just got his hands on a Siegebreaker. Now, that combination we saw earlier just now, where Zen and Zanq actually just went straight for TNX, that is a potential, and that could cost them the game on the side of Dominator.
Yeah, that could be there. I mean, the amount of damage that they have. But again, it's about staying alive right now. I mean, if we're talking about late game, who are you giving the edge to?
I'm not sure because at this point, Tufts has been founded out. But TNX, okay, look, he's building a hybrid build, but he's taking so much damage, and I'm not sure if he can survive the fights.
Yeah, it's sometimes you gotta go all in one way or the other. But being balanced, he's thinking again, probably late game. If he wanted to go all offense, it would have been like, looking to close out this game. But, you know, with a balanced one, he's just looking to survive and continuing to fight.
Okay, so TNX secures the Shadow Tyrant. Zanq gets the opposite end with the Overlord as well. The potential burst coming in. Jero looking for the damage, but will not find the appropriate targets.
Umbrella Outburst had been committed as well. Mid T1, that's space provided by A.L. there, and they do take this one down. If anything, small win for them, but Dominator Esports up about 3K. But they still haven't been able to really just close it out as of now.
Not yet. I think TNX at this point, the game plan from DMT is pretty straightforward, right? If you want to play that pushing game, we can play it with you. And when you're doing the macro plays, you will find yourself in a situations where you're kind of isolated at times.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, look, you have to counter them in some way because with the lanes all pushing like this, you got to figure out a way to kind of get yourself a little bit of space. The T2s have all still been up by Team Vitality. These Vanguards will definitely help with that push. But it's about getting some sort of pick-off, finding TNX if more than anything else, because he's got about a 1.5k net worth lead over ZonQ.
I think TNX is a bait. Look, honestly, I think the game is going to be decided by Joe. If it's going to be a DMT win, it has to come from Joe because that burst damage coming from the Matrix, the Annihilation, the Creation, everything, right? It has to be him as that win formula. He will turn the tides of the battle.
And looking at this, I mean, TNX backing off, just dueling with Tufts more than anything else. But look, the Shadow Vanguard in the bottom lane, this is going to be a moment where you're kind of thinking, like, Team Vitality, what else do they need to do to get back in this one?
I think for now it's just get pickoffs, right? I think that's the only way you win this, where ZonQ finds the appropriate target. In fact, I would say, I'll go as far as to say, go for Joe and a Hem. Like, just ignore TNX. Tufts is able to deal with TNX on his own already.
But it's, look, Jurl and Ahem have done such a good job with their positioning. They've always been in the far back. Plus you have Guyu who can jump on and kind of help with the save at a moment's notice. It's not an easy task. And plus, seeing as the map control is in favor of Dominator, you don't really have the vision to make these types of moves.
That's true. I mean, they have a saving grace, right? L, with the Upright Outburst, he hasn't really used it that much in this game. And I think that could be the cause of the reason why they haven't won a lot of team fights, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's still very early in that regard. I mean, not early in terms of game time, but in terms of these team fights, they've been, both of these teams, very cagey. Understanding that they lose a team fight, they just lose the game and the series.
Yeah, look, this game for me, Neo and Zen on the side of Vitality, Joe and Ahem, there's 4 players, right? 2 on each side. They will be the deciding marker for success. If any duo gets taken down, it's an instant win for the opposite team.
It's interesting that you say that, because I'm looking more for like TNX and ZonQ. I think that these are the guys that I'm looking at for, especially when those team fights happen, because like it's more of like the initiations that happen. But TNX on,
they're gonna go in tough. He's gonna get bursted down, uses the flash as well. Annihilation will miss, but here comes the backup as well. Unbridled outburst by L, but the backline is a little bit under danger. 19 uses his ultimate.
Yeah, I think that the right call was to retreat. ZonQ was like, no, we're not fighting. We must retreat. They got the jump on us. We need to stay alive. That was close. I thought when 19 went in with the Tremor Smash, I was like, oh my gosh, are they going in for this fight? Not a great one, but a great disengage.
Exactly, because they actually committed quite a bit of their resources as well.
True, true. I mean, it was a big jump, right? Dominator Esports thought they had the edge. They tried to go for the jump. They're going to go for the Shadow Tyrant instead. But again, this is a crazy situation. Team Vitality.
Yeah, they will secure it for themselves. DMT, there is no doubt in my mind, right? They will always secure these neutral objectives. The only important question here is, because we know of that potential, isn't Tempest Dragon just secure for DMT?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's going to be tough. And this is why, in a way, like, Team Vitality probably want that pickoff. You know, they get a numbers advantage, then they can potentially go for it. It's not going to be easy with TNX on this fade.
And I'm going to tell you why it's so difficult, because Guyu is playing the Liu Bang. He has a global ultimate.
Yeah, he can go in at a moment's notice. L taking a lot of damage here, though.
Okay, that is not a good sign for the side of DMT. But on the backlines, they found him. ZonQ goes in onto TNX, but he has an extra life. He will back up for the moment. Guyu gives his life for the cause. He's the first member down, traded for 19 as well. But Zen, he is very, very low. He gets taken out. First life is gone. The chase down happens. TNX as well. It's a double kill for Ahem as they're looking for that marker of success. Tufts, he has that first life burned away by TNX, but he's alone against the rest of Vitality. The last life, he cannot do it. Vitality, they can make a push. There is a wave at the bottom side.
That was actually crazy. I think there was 4 Sages Sanctuaries that were popped on that one, but Team Vitality able to navigate in terms of who needed to die very quickly. The prioritization was on point. ZonQ found the right targets. He stayed alive, did all the damage. Yes, Zon did go down, but this is a huge window of opportunity for Team Vitality, and it looks like they're going to back off, potentially go for this Tempest Dragon here.
And this is like the perfect opportunity, right? TNX is down for 15 seconds more. The Tempest Dragon is up now. If there's any time to go for it, Vitality needs to make the call now. They have to do it now. If not, they will never get it.
They're looking to rush this one down as quickly as possible. It's a half-life. L is going to be making his rotation there. He spots it, but I don't think they go for this.
They have to. Maybe they steal from Joe. They're looking for it. Oh, Joe does not hit the mark. Vitality, they have equipped themselves with the best possible situation now.
I mean, look, they were just trying to provide a little bit of vision. L goes in, sees where the Tempest Dragon is at, and sees like consistently how much damage he's taken. Gerald with that potential steal. He's done it time and time again. Not able to get it because Team Vitality actually slowed down, dealt with L, and they were able to secure the Tempest Dragon, the first one of the series.
Beautiful decision making coming in from Vitality. Now they have the Tempest buff for the next 60 seconds. They also have the Tempest Dragons coming down. This is going to disable the turrets, so there is no probable defense coming up from DMT. The players have to do all the work.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, the number 2 squad from A.G.A.L. and Dominator Esports versus the number 3 Team Vitality. Could we have asked for anything better at this stage? 21 minutes in, the Tempest Dragon, Team Vitality have actually come back in this one. Now they're taking the fight to Dominator Esports. It could be a better game.
Exactly. I mean, losing the first game in the series and having to claw your way back, there is no other redemption that is more satisfying than this.
I mean, they're looking to slow siege on this top T3, Dominator Esports. Not really much they can do.
Yep, absolutely nothing. And Tufts, with all the distraction on the top side, has taken down the T3 at the bottom. Now, 3 waves of Tempest Dragons will crash onto T3s.
I mean, they've taken this one out. They go back to the top T3. They made sure that they get this one, but they're going in.
Yeah, big stun on the back lines. Oh, there's a lot of damage coming in from TNX. This is a turnaround for DMT. They've taken down Neil. Zen is still alive, but there's many lines to be had at this point. Neil and Zangq, the 2 of them are down. The damage is not enough. DMT survived for the time being.
I mean, it's a 2 for 2. Zan was still alive, so it looks like Dominator had to respect that, but they don't really have, other than the damage that they have, but the base is wide open. I think Team Vitality are going to be happy with that. I mean, at the end of the day, Dominator Esports tried to go for that one last play to get them. They found Zangq and Neil, great, but Zan is their main target now.
I like the way that you look at this perspective, because to me, I'm looking at another thing, which is they are probably going to drag this game for the next Tempest. But let's talk about this first.
Yeah, and look at this, the jump in. L, nice little umbrella offers on it too, and Zangq just goes in with that Jade Stab, gets him, and it ensures that he gets Zangq and Neil, both of them down for the count. The prioritization was great. L sacrifices his life for that control, tried to go for that one play on Zan, not able to get it, he limped away.
Okay, so let me give you a little critical moment in that fight before the actual breakdown, right? Neil saved the game for Vitality. He actually got the knockup with the Ocean of Tears, the first skill of Lady Chen, onto Jill. If he had not, Jill would have got the perfect matrix, the Annihilation would have been on time, DMT would have crushed them in that fight.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally a game of inches at this point, right? And being able to do that right before you died, absolutely huge for them. And it just proves just how close this game is. We're going to see another Tempest Dragon, the second of the day for these 2 teams.
I would say they're on equal footing because they can't contest on the side of DMT without worrying about the base. Tufts is going to consistently split push, try to get those waves in.
Yeah, I mean, he should, right? But he's going to be countered by Guyu, who could just bounce into the fight whenever they want. But you're talking about the fact that TNX is on this fade, that Jade, the Hardened Jade Seal is going to make it very difficult for Team Vitality to go for any sort of steal or a kill.
They lose it. Unless they, I don't know, stun him or something, or maybe just push him out of the pit, there is no way that TNX loses this, right?
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I think they're just trying to bait him out. And look at TNX patiently waiting in the bushes. He's going to show himself now.
Yep, nice situational awareness coming out from 19, right? We don't see a lot of teams do this, especially at this critical moment. There is a lot of pressure. There's a lot of things to consider as well.
I mean, there's so much. Like, your base is wide open, right? They can push a lane, so you have to be super careful with the bottom.
Oh, Guyi, he has to trade his items here. First life gone. The save comes from Jill. They will push him back, so Guyi makes it out. But this is a difference in manpower now. Now, the call from Zangq is to go onto TNX. Where is the support? Parrot as well. They're wrapping around. If TNX can he make it out? The save is not enough. He's taken down, and DMT is not looking good for them as well. Annihilation does deal a healthy amount of damage, so Vitality, they have to stop for now.
This started with Tufts in that bottom lane, finding Guyu, making sure that he uses that Sage's Sanctuary. Gerald had to rotate to help save him, but that was a numbers advantage elsewhere. They caught out TNX with that duel to death. Really well played by Team Vitality there.
And he's dead. What does that mean? This is a chance. Vitality get a second shot at the Tempest Dragon. Tempest take. Tufts, they lock him in. Physically immune for the side of a Hem. They do get the kill on the Neo, but a Hem is dead. This is one major damage dealer, and it comes out as well. It's not going well at all for DMT because Vitality are on form today.
4 members down. Team Vitality even took the Tempest Dragon. It's just a matter of time before they just march it down.
Gui, he's gonna try his best, but I don't think they can stop them. The crystal is under fire, but they do maybe have a chance. 10XO, there is no way. Vitality, they are better today.
Just a really well-played game, understanding the way to play this map, right? With those objectives, being able to take the Tempest Dragon, understanding that the way they just take him down. I mean, they caught out TNX. It was not really his fault. It was more the fault of Guyu, who got caught out. And when that Jurl rotation happened, I mean, TNX was wide open at that stage.
I know, but it's so hard because at this point, look, there's 3 crashing lanes. It's super elite minions. You have to deal with it some way or another. And at the same time, the problem is you can't let TNX die because then you give away the Tempest Dragon.
So this is one of those things where Jurl's like, hey, if I'm rotating down, you need to be safe.